Good evening to you. It's another Tuesday evening, and we are live on Joy 99.7 FM. This is Geek Squad with your girl, Adobea Biritwum. Geek Squad is brought to you by MTN. MTN, everywhere you go. We've been having a conversation about navigating the different privacy settings that we have on our social media accounts. We are in the month of October, and it's Cyber Security Awareness Month. Last week, we had our guest. Last 2 weeks, we also had a conversation around being safe, especially in this cyber space that we find ourselves in. Tonight, we are going to continue this conversation because we realized that last week we couldn't finish with the tips we wanted to share with you so that you are safe out there when it comes to your privacy settings that you have on your social media handles. I have my guest with me and we'll be getting into the conversation. But before we do that, we would like to share with you what has been happening in the tech space in the past week. So why not take a listen to the emerging tech trends? We will be back after that.
Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of Emerging Tech Trends on Joy Geek Squad. My name is Denicia Poma Eje. In our headlines, Tesla launches Cybercab, Elon Musk robotaxi. Also, X will pay its premium users to engage with each other. Well, Tesla's Optimus bot makes a scene at the robotaxi event. And finally, Google tests showing full recipes right in search results. Let's settle for the details now. Tesla CEO Elon Musk has revealed a new self-driving robotaxi, marking a potential milestone after years of delays. The futuristic vehicle, designed without a steering wheel or pedals, features upward opening butterfly doors and seats 2 passengers. It charges wirelessly through inductive power but will require regulatory approval before production. Well, X is revamping its creator monetization system. Previously, creators earned ad revenue based on views from verified users. Now, they'll be paid based on engagement from X premium subscribers. Simply put, the more premium users interact with content from other premium members, the more creators can earn. At Tesla's Cybercab event, several humanoid Optimus robots made an appearance alongside the unveiling of the new Robovan. A video showed the robots performing everyday tasks like bringing in packages and watering plants. Tesla CEO Elon Musk said Optimus can do anything, including walking dogs, babysitting, and mowing lawns. Musk also revealed that the robot is expected to cost between $20,000 and $30,000 in the long term. And finally, Google is testing a new quick view feature aimed at recipe searches, which allows users to access full recipes without leaving the search results page. For example, searching for chocolate chip cookie recipe may show a quick view button for a recipe from the blog Preppy Kitchen. Clicking it reveals ingredients, photos, and instructions directly within Google search. And that's it for this week's episode of Emerging Tech Trends on Joy Geek Squad. My name is Denicia Pomaiji. Catch you same time next week.
Joy 99.7 FM.
Charlie, this year's elections, I am really confused. I don't know who to vote for.
Why don't you know who to vote for? Let's listen to one policy JDM says he's going to implement when he's voted.
I think so NDC ban. You be bien Juman kitten. My person branch executive na di omo ho begim. Say yankoko na person share poultry farm ketu bi near mao akoko bono near ton koko na mao near mao eduane a wo de beto eduane ama sika wo de beto eduane ama.
But why are you laughing? My guy, relax. So this is the reason he wants us to vote for him? Oh, the man hasn't changed one bit. Same old dead goat. Now let's listen to one of the many policies Dr. Bawumia has for the youth.
Jobs would be my major focus. Now, me be training 1 million youth in digital skills.
And see, that's not all. Apart from that, he's going to set up SME Bank to enable SMEs expand, to create jobs for the youth, and also increase demand with the buy now, pay small policy, which is the credit scoring system.
Oh, really?
That's not all, oh. You then let me give you the last one. He says he's going to introduce Buy Ghana First policy to boost local businesses to help them expand and employ more youth.
Wow. Now, I know who I'm voting for come December 7th. Dr. Bawumia, you have my vote.
Yes, so these are but a few of DMB's bold solutions for the youth when he's voted into power come December 7th.
I've changed my mind. I'm not voting for JDM anymore. I'll vote for the bold solutions man, Dr. Bawumia.
Great decision, my brother. This year, Dr. Bawumia's vote, Yem Fan Cheche.
And yeah,
Vote Dr. Bawumia, number 1 on the ballot.
Imagine having access to top-notch educational resources, no matter your grade of school or location in Ghana. With the Ghana Knowledge and Skills Bank, you can tap into a vast library of resources, even in offline mode. From primary all the way to tertiary education, we've got you covered. As a student, you have access to past questions from 1990 to date for BEC, WASI, and tertiary test examinations. As a teacher or lecturer, you can hold virtual classes for your students and share your lecture notes for their use. As an educator or researcher, you can publish your books or articles for public consumption. And lastly, you have your own studies teacher or AI tutor who is trained to teach you in any subject topic till you fully understand. So whether you're a student, educator, content creator, researcher, or entrepreneur, the Ghana Knowledge and Skills Bank was made just for you. Sign up today at www.gksb.gov.gh. The Ghana Knowledge and Skills Bank, where learning has no limits and the possibilities are endless. This project was financed by the World Bank under the erstwhile e-Transform project at the Ministry of Communications and Digitalization.
If home is where the heart is, then let's go home, shall we? Let's go where the entertainment is, where the passion is, where the laughter is, and sometimes even the tears too. Let's go where we feel safe enough to share our opinions.
And send tweets.
Where we do that embarrassing little dance to our favorite song. Let's go home where the love, the care, and the joy live.
There's no place like home. Connect your home to super fast internet with affordable data bundles from MTN Home. Visit broadband.mtn.com.gh or your My MTN app to sign up today. MTN.
The biggest food, drink, and music festival is returning this October. The Eat, Drink, Music Festival is big. Let's go! Get ready for 2 unforgettable days filled with the best food and drink vendors, top DJs, and amazing musicians. Join us for an experience like no other, featuring world-class performances, a variety of local and continental foods, drinks, and fun activities like a celebrity cooking competition, esports, arts installations, photo booths, cultural exhibitions, a kids' play area, and so much more. Oh, yeah. Location, Good Park, Accra Mall. Dates, 26th and 27th October, 2024. Time, 12 p.m. to 12 a.m. Get your tickets now on all networks by dialing *714*500#. For more information, visit www.eatdrinkmusicfestival.com or call us at 0550-188-888. Eat Drink Music Festival, the ultimate festival experience.
The other day, I visited Kweku at his spunky new office to congratulate him on opening his business. And man, was I impressed. The business is just moving quick. The sales, customers, everything is just working seamlessly. The secret? He said,
It's MTN Business Broadband. In this fast-paced environment, we need fast and reliable internet to support all business types. No laggy online meetings, great download and upload speeds, impeccable business management systems, all inclusive. I mean, you can have it all.
Sharp! I signed on immediately.
To enable your business stay ahead and stay connected, make sure you're signed on to the best internet made just for businesses. MTN Business Broadband. Sign up today on broadband.mtn.com.gh and manage your account on my MTN app. Call 0244 308 111 for more information. We are good together everywhere you go.
Like a small boat.
Welcome back. This is Geek Squad with your girl Adobea Biritwum. We are having a conversation on how we can navigate our social media, the privacy settings, some safety tips that we can apply so that we are all safe in this cyberspace that we find ourselves in. I have my guest ready and we'll be getting into the conversation now. He is a lawyer and a digital skills advocate. He's in the person of Yao Owusu Abibio. Yao, you're welcome.
Thank you.
How are you doing?
I'm doing well, Adobea.
Good. We started a conversation somewhere last week, and it was mainly about how people can navigate their privacy settings on social media. There are different accounts that they may have, because now you don't just have one social media account. Someone may have X, may have Facebook, LinkedIn, the different ones that are available. And based on that, we shared some tips. And tonight we want to continue the conversation. And for you listening to us, maybe if you have any question, you can go ahead and send it to our WhatsApp number 055 1111 997. 055 1111 997. Let us hear from you based on the discussions that we are going to have. And just in case you missed last week, we streamed it on YouTube and on Facebook. The handle is Ajoy 99.7 FM. You can just check that out after tonight's show. So just stay with us and listen to what we have for you this evening. So based on the different discussions that we have had, tonight we want to tackle something that I feel is very necessary. A lot of times you see people post things on their social media platforms and then they add sometimes chilling at, then they will add the particular place that they are chilling. What kind of information can we put out there, or should there be some kind of limits? I think we want to check that our personal information that we put out there on our social media handles.
I think with the digital world now, you can do everything. You can be anything you want in that abstract universe. The possibilities are limitless. So whatever you want to do, you can do it. But we should always realize that these issues of our personal information is a matter of security, and it's very, very important. The same way that you'd lock the door to your house, you'd lock your car when you're moving away, and you place emphasis on all sorts of your physical security, any manner or form that it takes. You should take prime importance or place prime importance on your security in the digital space also, because it is important. So yes, that's my comment on that.
Okay,
you can do whatever you want.
You can do it. But what are the risks of putting a lot of information, especially personal information, out there on social media handles?
Okay, so from my earlier statement on the fact that it's your security, there's this phenomenon online where there's one social media user in the US. The name is Jose Monkey. People send him videos of themselves wherever they are, usually in the US, and they will ask him that Jose Monkey, find me. So the person has recorded a video of themselves somewhere on this planet, and they send it to him, and he's able to find you almost wherever you are on this earth
with no obvious clue. The only thing is just a video that is shared with him.
There's a video of your surroundings, and it's amazing how that you can be found with just a video. He uses all sorts of means like Google Lens, clues from your surroundings, and puts it on maps, all sorts of ways. But you can see the impact of putting such information online, as you mentioned, like chilling at you geo-target. It's very, very critical. It's a serious matter that if such information gets into someone's hands, it's very, very dangerous. So your identity, your personal information, and in certain situations, online harassment and such related matters. So the effects or the risks are a lot, but primarily this is the information about yourself, and that should not get into the wrong hands.
That's the whole point. Getting into the wrong hands, that's when it could be used against you. So those could be some of the pitfalls. The fact that you put so much about you out there. So if anything at all, the risk is that can get into the wrong hands. So people may have to limit the kind of information that they put about themselves online.
Yes, you have to be very circumspect about it, generally. Yeah.
But we live in a social media age now.
Yes, I think in a way, this thing about also people, everybody wants to be a content creator. Everybody wants to be the first person.
Exactly. I think we touched on that a few weeks ago. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's also a little bit of that, but you have to be careful.
Okay. So, I mean, with what we have just spoken about, there are times that there are certain accounts that you may see. We are talking about privacy settings. Last week, one of the things we touched on was some people may create their account. An example is Facebook. And then for a reason, they stop using that account. They don't necessarily lock it. They don't necessarily put the activities off. And then for some time, maybe they've forgotten the password. They've stopped using it. They create a new account altogether. And you may have people tagging you and all that. But if you are on your Facebook account, for instance, how are you able to determine that maybe someone sending you a message it could be a fraudulent activity, or the person may have some kind of malicious intention? How are you able to identify that, looking at our privacy and talking about the things that we even put out there online?
Okay, so I'll start with the premise that, we understand that it is social media. It is meant to connect people we know, and then strangers also. So everybody would understand that, yes, all these are possibilities. It's not cast in stone that you won't accept a certain person who follows or adds you as a friend or something. But again, you have to be careful about some suspicious profiles or characters who try to get into your digital space. That's number one. And then also beyond that, you have to be careful about the type of activity, the type of information that you share, and then also in the interaction. If you see that things are not going well, there are avenues on some of these platforms for reporting, or whether it's blocking, muting, or any such means which you can use to keep your space in check. So those are some of the ways, besides the mere factor of profiling someone even before you accept or follow back or something. So those are the means. I know, and as we were mentioning earlier, that there isn't always one size fits all means, because some on certain profiles you are adding someone as a friend, elsewhere you are following back, some other place you have to send some different type of request, but you have to watch it, the entry first, and then when the access is granted, when that person is eligible to come into your space, how you manage that relationship or that interaction through muting, blocking, or any such means is also important. Yes.
So one of the things that I do personally is, especially on Facebook, for instance, if someone asks for a friend request, I usually check the mutual friends that person and I have, because there are times that maybe the person has even changed their name. You don't really recognize the name. The picture they are using too is not something that you recognize easily. So those are some of the means that I'm able to at least check and confirm that, okay, if the person is friends with this, that, and those people, I see the engagements with them, then I can go ahead and connect with them. But this thing about the information and the risk of putting some information out there, what kind of information will we say is enough where people may not necessarily be at risk?
Okay, so with the information, again, I think it also depends on the type of platform that we are talking about. With certain platforms,
You can give the example, yeah.
you know that, yes, so for example, on Facebook, it's a little bit of a much more personal level. So there are errors where people were using some pseudonyms and things like that.
Yeah.
But generally, I think people would use their names. In other platforms, maybe like X, which is Twitter, you may rather use just the handle, and which may not necessarily be your name. So depending on where you are or the platform you are using, you would be able to determine the type of information which is too much. But putting everything out there and making it available to anybody and everybody, that is dangerous. That is the dangerous thing. So your personal contact information, your residential address, sometimes even your business address may be a bit dangerous to put in there. But the information about yourself, dates of birth, and I know, for example, on Facebook, you had brothers, your like family, close family.
Yeah, I remember what
a
a friend did some time back.
You can add all that. So it would
Yeah.
mean that when you put all that, someone looks at your profile and can actually write a myself for you, which is, one of the risks, identity theft.
Yeah.
They can impersonate you completely. So that's the type of information, depending on the platform.
There must be some kind of limit. And I think with some of the features of Facebook too, at least it allows you to be able to lock your profile, and so certain information can be kept hidden. And I think, was it today, I was trying to link up my page to IG, my Facebook page to IG, and then I realized that there's even options there for you. There's an option there for you where you can prevent people from being able to download certain contents that you even post, which means all these are there that people can check, and it will help with their privacy. Because if I've uploaded a video and the next time I'm seeing that it's viral because someone has posted it on a different platform, at least.
And in fact, that happens a lot now. You see maybe a video from TikTok and all of a sudden it's on X, or on X and is now on IG, and it's somewhere.
Yeah.
And like it could be anything, personal information. And especially now with how things go about, maybe someone knows someone else. And the worrying part is sometimes the information, or a lot of times, it's the negative news that travels very, very fast. And sometimes the content itself is not that bad, but maybe the caption, it invokes certain sentiments. And then everybody who hops onto that post follows what the caption says, and it can be very, very disturbing, leading to things like cyberbullying, harassment, and things like that. So I do get that picture, but it's very important that we are careful with those things.
We definitely have to check that. So for any social media account, we just have to check our settings. There's a need to check our settings, and it's usually where we have the privacy settings. So you can check your profile, and then the profile settings where we have the security settings, privacy settings, and check the different things that are available. Something like LinkedIn, for instance, there are so many different things you can check and uncheck. You want to talk about that?
Yes. Recently, I was just looking through some of it, and maybe anybody who actively uses LinkedIn a bit, you realize it has a lot of notifications.
So many.
Yeah, but the permissions in the settings, like you can turn off all sorts of notifications.
That's right.
Specifically or in different forms, whether it's all of it. And it just shows you that a lot of times these avenues are there for everybody to tailor what they want on the app to suit them. So it's very good that you brought that up.
Yeah.
And for listeners to...
Yeah, because the thing is that when you are signing up onto these accounts, you usually will not take your time to read all those things, and they are not readily available at the time. So when you are signed up, it will be good to just go check the privacy settings and then see whether the things that have been indicated there suit you, whether you want to turn some off and leave some as is, because LinkedIn, it gives you different options whether you want to be seen when you are searched through Google, because sometimes you just search someone's name in Google and then it comes with their LinkedIn profile and all that. You have that option to be able to turn it off or turn it on. Different aspects, the kind of information that you have, if it's your contact information, for instance, who you want to see, whether it's only recruiters, all that is available there. And so we need to be updating these as often as possible. And
but also, even aside the general framework or the general setup of your account or any account, it's with specific posts, even you can do a post depending on the platform you are using. Maybe only certain groups of people will see.
Yes.
That's also a very good security measure. So you can post very personal things, but only maybe people in your circles or people in a private group would see it.
It's true.
So these are all means by which, aside the general set of information.
You've just reminded me of something that happened some time back. I remember my husband was saying, anytime he posts something on Facebook, he was just seeing like only one like. Apparently, he had just limited the people who could see his posts to just a number of people. So that is really true. Facebook gives you an option to share to public, with your friends, and then with contacts. So at least all those are privacy settings that you can have. Even at the time you are sharing a particular post, you can choose which of them, the audience that you want to see. And so it's good that we look at that. Now, we've been talking about ourselves in a way. We want to look at parents also and how they can put some of these controls in for their words. What can we share with them?
Well, that one, in my opinion, I think the most effective way is to actually be present and monitor it.
Is to be present?
I wouldn't know, in that you can't delegate it to an app or some software. I know it works. It's good. You can put all the means in place, but if you are not monitoring it in person, it can get out of place, especially with all the dangers in the world right now. So that is the first means or factor that I would say that you should monitor what is going on your child or your ward's internet activity or online digital activity. So that's one. But yes, there are means that you can implement. This two-factor authentication. There's all sorts of digital nannies. That's in terms of their softwares that you can delegate them to, so it prevents their access, screen time, all sorts of means. I mean, if you want to list them, you would go on and on and on. But another important factor also, or measure, is the education that you, right from the early age, because now if you talk about this Gen Zs, digital natives, I mean now
the alpha gens,
children of 3 years old, when you give them a picture, they are going to swipe it because that's what they expected to do. So right from the beginning, you know that they have been born into the technological world. So educating them, letting them know the dangers, the harms that exist in the world, in the digital world, is very, very critical too.
But this thing can be scary. The fact that someone can be sitting in their home, they see someone's picture, or they see a post from someone, and the kind of comments that they may just give on that, and it affects people, like the cyberbullying that you touched on at a point. So as parents, that constant monitoring is important. And I think one of the ways that parents can do this also is through usually checking the browsing history.
Well, but if you have a smart kid, they will delete it.
That's true anyway. That's true, but at least there are some things that you can use to check and then do this often. I think we just need to create a safe space where we can know what's happening with our words.
Maybe no measure would be 100%, but at least all these measures put together, they go a long way to curbing all these dangers. And the interesting thing is that when you look at the laws, or Ghana's laws on some of these issues, electronic transactions, cybersecurity, there appears to be a specific mention for things like child stalking a child, child pornography. Like the law itself has taken a very, very stern standpoint and places very huge importance on it that, look, this exists and it is a crime. So I just
it would be good for you to touch on that more.
Yeah, so those offenses, or the law says that if you use some electronic means to perpetrate these things, so in that on phone or using some electronic means or device, you are stalking a child, or you are distributing child pornography material, it is a crime, and that you are liable to a term of imprisonment, 5 to 25 years. But I mean, this is as a consequence. If at the end of the day your child has already been a victim, I mean, it's bad. I mean, the damage would have already been caused. So it's just a point for everybody to realize that this matter is so important that the law specifically mentions it consistently in the Cybersecurity Act and the Digital Electronic Transactions Act.
Okay, so you mentioned if someone is found stalking a particular child, they are liable. Could it also affect parents if they are trying to check what their boys have been doing and following on them? Will it affect them in any way, or that is not an issue on the parent side?
Well, no. So there's no liability generally yes. I know that in laws like the Children's Act, there's a certain duty on parents. You know, you have to take decisions which inure to the benefit or promotes the welfare and well-being of the child. So based on that, but those do not. If it is a specific or a direct act or mission, yes, there can be liability on that front. But in the digital space, not necessarily, not directly. It doesn't make any specific mention of that.
Okay. We've been having a conversation on how we can keep ourselves safe, especially on our social media accounts. And I've been having a conversation with Yao Osu Abebium. And so far, we've seen the different ways that we can, even for our different accounts, keep our privacy settings updated. There's a need for us to be doing that, mainly because without those being updated, you don't know what kind of information that you may be sharing with someone out there. And also, there are risks when it comes to the kind of information that you share out there. You don't put literally everything about you online, because someone may have access to that information and then use it wrongly. Yeah, in talking about this right now, I want us to touch on location sharing. You know that there are times that you may be going somewhere, the person doesn't really, you have to meet someone, example, they send you their location. What are some of the risks associated with this, and how can we curb some of those situations? Should we find ourselves in them? Because sometimes you can't do anything about it. You have to share the location anyway.
Well, for me, on a lighter note, I don't like turning my location settings on because I think it drains my battery.
Okay.
But beyond that, I don't know if you've accessed or tried this before. For Google, when you turn on your location, generally, there's a place in your account, when you look through your accounts, where it would have traced this is a default setting. You would see where the routes that you've taken. Yes, everything is over there, even though you didn't necessarily give that instruction that
it was on. So it was.
It's a default setting. So as to how well, there are various reasons. I mean, now the location, you know, it enhances your user experience for different apps. I mean, obviously, if you are using a ride-hailing app, you cannot do away with the location. But it's important to limit the access, first of all. So I'm sure we all come across some of these only allow access when in the app or while using
the app.
Yes, these are some of the things that we are supposed to specifically avert our minds to, and then make sure that they are minimalist enough that they will inure to our benefits. And then also permissions to apps which are outside, say, some of these apps which are necessary for our use. We limit it or remove them completely so that because all this information could leak through the pipes and then fall into the wrong hands.
That's the whole point. So at least for those specific apps that you definitely need to use location at a point, it could be Google Maps, it could be any of these, Uber, Bolt, any of them, you have that option. Check the settings. You only allow location sharing while using the app. It will usually come with always, never while using app. It's better to use the while using app so that only when you are using the app, when you are done using it, you can close it and you know that your location sharing for that particular app is off. This is Geek Squad with your girl Adobea Biritwum. We are having a conversation on how we can keep ourselves safe by updating our privacy settings on our social media handles. I'm having a conversation with Yao Osu Abibu. Geek Squad is brought to you by MTN everywhere you go. You know, we all have those days when you are low on everything: energy, time, cash, and even airtime and data. Well, that's why MTN Extra Time is an airtime and data advanced service that allows you to make calls or browse the internet even when you have insufficient balance. All you have to do is to dial *506#. *506#, go through the prompts and select the amount of airtime or data you need. It's more than simple. Doing your favorite things on MTN means you don't get interrupted even when you are low on airtime or data. Please remember, all terms and conditions apply. This is Geek Squad, brought to you by MTN. We'll be back right after this break.
The other day, I visited Kweku at his spunky new office to congratulate him on opening his business. And man, was I impressed. The business is just moving quick. The sales, customers, everything is just working seamlessly. The secret? He said,
it's MTN Business Broadband. In this fast-paced environment, we need fast and reliable internet to support all business types. No laggy online meetings, great download and upload speeds, impeccable business management systems, all inclusive. I mean, you can have it all.
Sharp! I signed on immediately.
To enable your business stay ahead and stay connected, make sure you're signed on to the best internet made just for businesses. MTN Business Broadband. Sign up today on broadband.mtn.com.gh and manage your account on my MTN app. Call 0244 308 111 for more information. We are good together everywhere you go.
We have a new leader in town. Obiarenti. Amanfo. Madam was Sibebre. When him say my baby, maybe more charcoal for whiter teeth. More charcoal. Not only that, maybe lemon. More lemon. Zinc for fresher breath. More zinc. And fluoride for stronger teeth.
Introducing the new President Charcoal packed with more power with a combination of charcoal and lemon for naturally whiter teeth. Grab yours now. This advert is FDA approved.
Luxurious affordable living is your right, and no one understands it better than BOT Properties. BOT Properties specializes in modern residential buildings and commercial office spaces. Our properties include the Equator, a 12-story made up of over 100 apartments near Accra Mall. Other Equator courts, we offer you the deluxe living experience with our top-of-the-range homes, high-quality homes built with style and precision to suit your lifestyle. The Equator Courts is a gated community with 2-story, 4-bedroom detached houses at Ogbojo, East Legon, near American House. Our office complexes include Zion House, Shiashi, East Legon, Zion House, Sofa Line Interchange, Kumasi. Our offices and apartments are for both rental and outright purchases at affordable prices and with flexible payment terms. Kindly contact us on 0257 960 919 or visit botproperties.com. BOT Properties, the new meaning of affordable luxury.
Charlie, this year's elections, I am really confused. I don't know who to vote for.
Welcome back. This is Geek Squad with your girl Adobea Biritwum. If you're just joining us, we're having a conversation on how we can be updating our privacy settings on our various social media handles and platforms. And I'm having a conversation with a lawyer today. He's in the person of Yao Owusu Abebio. So Yao, based on the discussions that we've had so far, I think I want us to, in a way, divert not fully from what we are talking about and start looking at malicious emails or links. I think I would rather refer to it as links, not emails. Links that people may see on their social media platforms and how they can just go about it in terms of when you are to see any such link on social media, how should you just handle that? Yeah.
Okay, so for these links and requests for you to do A, B, C, D, I think everybody has to be alert because now you even have people's official websites being cloned, and
it reminds me of something. We'll talk about that.
So it's serious, because you really have to have your guard up. And aside websites being cloned, well, even the email address, sometimes, an I can look like an L. So you have a website and then the only thing that has been changed is an I into an L, and then you follow it. You think you're at the right place. At the end of the day, you may cause some damage. You may be caused some damage. So yes, we have to have our guard up, check and see that the sender is the authentic sender, and then the location or the site that it's sending you to is the appropriate place. And again, this is a continuous effort or matter that you have to keep doing, because it may send you to the right place in the first instance, but the link that you're going to you're going to be asked to follow is going to be wrong. And when we hear of some of these things, even in the corporate settings, you have attacks against financial institutions and very, very delicate institutions across the world. And recently, I think that was last year, a friend of mine who was in the US, he was telling me about how a company that he was working with, they came under one of these attacks, and it's the damage, or like the ransom that they were asked for, was in millions of dollars.
Wow.
Yes, and you can imagine if that befalls a local company or a local institution. Yes, I'm sure it's one that will close them down. But the funny thing about that was that the attackers said that they should use it as a trial. That's what they told them, that they should get over with it, because they should take it like they ran a simulation. Ooh. And this is what it cost them.
Wow.
So it's very, very important that some of these links, especially in the business world, maybe in your private space, maybe they will only take a few hundreds of CDs, but it may not always be the case. It
depends on them, but exactly, it depends on the amount you have in your account.
So yes, having your guard up, verifying if you need to have some third-party software, an antivirus or something which would assist you to sieve out some of these things. Yes, that may also help.
That will help. Yeah. So just few days ago, there was someone who posted something on X, and I think I would just want us to talk about this, mainly because we want to create the awareness also for our listeners and viewers. And Ghana Post even made a post on it, a disclaimer. Yeah. So I just want to read. It first starts with a message that usually people receive, and the message says, Ghana Post, please update your shipping address immediately. Then there's a link, and then with that link they say, update your shipping address, otherwise the parcel will be returned within 6 hours. And this is sent randomly to people. So if you are there and you are expecting a parcel, you are likely to fall for this. And with this person who reported online, that's what happened. So for the guy, he said he received a link from a phone number via SMS about a delivery that was attempted, and he had been expecting a delivery. So that's what happened to him, a delivery overseas, and he got a link and asked to pay. The amount he was asked to pay was 3 cedis 48 pesos. So if you see something like that,
it's negligible.
Exactly, what's the big deal? But then what he noticed was that it was sent to a fake site. For him, he went ahead to enter his card details and all that. The only fortunate thing was that it was like a virtual card or a prepaid card, so he didn't have a lot of money on it. Because if it was just 3 cedis and something, it was the big deal. Apparently, the people are sitting somewhere in Thailand, looking at the link later on, and how much they were ready to take from him was about 23,000. And so we just want to talk about this, mainly to create the awareness that if you are getting any such message, I mean, if there's anything that you even want to touch on concerning that, because this one specifically, like I said, Ghana Post has issued a particular message on that, saying people should be aware. So what can people just even do in terms of things like this? Yeah.
So with ones like this, which it appears is maybe an attack from outside the country and all, you can report it to regulatory agencies like the Cybersecurity Authority.
Yeah.
Yes, they are available. They provided hotlines and email addresses and short codes where you can report some of these things. That is beyond your own diligence, because you never know on this scale. If you are in Ghana and someone from across the globe is trying to perpetrate this, it means that there has been some loophole somewhere in our connectivity. So you report it to the Cybersecurity Authority, which I would recommend, and then further action would be taken. They have various means or mechanisms for dealing with and then tracing some of these things, so that the culprits are apprehended or we put a stop to it.
So please, we need to report these things. If you're expecting any delivery from anyone, usually the people who are actually going to deliver, they'll call you. Oftentimes, it's not just about an SMS with a link and that's it. Ghana Post is not asking anyone to update their address or anything. If you get any link of the sorts, please know that it's something malicious. If you are even expecting any kind of delivery, I'm sure whatever it is, you may have bought it from a particular site. You can go there and check for more information rather than following anything that you have received via SMS, because otherwise you may find yourself putting in information that you don't need to put in. And this also just brings our mind to the fact that we don't just enter our credit or debit card details just in any link asking you to put in those details. It may not be safe, especially if you don't trust the source. If you don't trust the source, don't put in such details. As much as possible, you can be using virtual cards or prepaid cards. You just have limited amounts there. You put in what you know that you need, and then based on that, you can be using it for your transactions. You are not expecting any delivery from anyone. Please don't go to any link and make any changes. At least this person was fortunate enough. They were able to recognize it, and based on that, they were not duped. But apparently some others have been duped because there were other things that were being shared concerning that. So please, for you, our listeners, kindly take note. It's very important, and let someone also be aware. Let someone also be aware. We are having a conversation on how we can navigate our various social media handles, the privacy settings, and not only that, making us aware of how we can be safe, especially because it is the Cybersecurity Awareness Month. I'm having a conversation with Owusu Abebio. We are going to take the quick tech fixes, and it will be good for us to really take a listen, because what we are going to share is very important. It's in line with what we are discussing. So let us take a listen to the quick tech fixes. We'll be back after that.
Hello there. Welcome to this week's Tech Quick Fixes and Tips on Geek Squad. In today's digital world, staying safe online is more important than ever. Whether you're shopping, working, or just browsing, here are 4 essential cybersecurity tips to keep your data secure. 1. Use strong, unique passwords. Don't reuse passwords across multiple accounts. Make them long and mix letters, numbers, and symbols for added strength. 2. Enable two-factor authentication. Add an extra layer of protection by requiring a second form of verification, like a code sent to your phone. 3. Be cautious of phishing scams. If an email or message looks suspicious, don't click any links or download attachments. Always verify the sender. And 4. Keep software updated. Outdated software is vulnerable to hackers. Make sure your operating system, apps, and antivirus are up to date. Following these simple tips can help protect your personal information and keep your online experience safe. Stay cyber secure. That's it for this week's Tech Quick Fixes and Tips on Joy Geek Squad.
Welcome back. This is Geek Squad with your girl Adobea Biritwum. Tonight, we've been having a conversation on how we can keep ourselves safe by updating our social media privacy settings. I've been having a conversation with Yao Owusu Adobea, and we've shared quite a number of things. Just in case you missed the beginning, we have this on YouTube and on Facebook at Joy 99.7 FM. So yeah, before final words, how often should people be updating their privacy settings? If we want to make it a habit, how often should we look at doing this?
Well, practice or best practice says that every 3 to 6 months.
Okay.
But I wonder how practical that is, because in a way, is part of our lives, like just using it, or it's just part of us using it. But that is what best practice is advised. 3 to 6 months, just check some of these things. And from time to time, various platforms, they send us official messages and tell us that A, B, or C is changing on this app. Maybe, I don't know if you've come across it, Google or someone else. Yeah. It's advised that when some of these changes are going, yes, we try and... I know that sometimes it can be very long, like the messages talking about all sorts of things that we may not even understand, but at least try and get some information to see that whether it has any bearing on your privacy or your security.
Yeah.
So, yes, this periodic, and then when some of these events happen, that's what is advisable to do.
Definitely. So, what would be your final words based on the discussions that we have had? And any advice, if you have any, at least from your experience?
Well, from my position, I usually go on 2 fronts. First of all, I say that you are the first line of defense in your digital existence. So you should equip yourself and actually act like the first line of defense. So your diligence, you're cautious about what you put out there, what you allow to access your information, etc. And from time to time, you equip yourself, educate yourself on some of these things, because technology keeps changing every single day. We need not go into that detail, but we know that. So that's number one. And then number 2, for people who may be perpetrators of some of these ill activities, you should also know that there are laws, local and international laws, which affect or which talk about these things and create all sorts of offenses from these things. So be mindful of how you conduct yourself online, because you may fall foul to
You have to be mindful of how you conduct yourself online. Thank you so much, Yao, for joining me this evening. A very big thank you to my producer, Prince Safo. This has been your girl, Adobea Biritwum, on Geek Squad. Up next is news by Michael Ashali, and then Overdrive. Stay tuned.